in audio. 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 In audio.
Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV. Welcome to the Straightjacket podcast 235. I don't know what's going on here, but I couldn't hear any audio. Can you hear me? Can I hear you, Nuruddin?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right, bro. I didn't hear no audio. Did you hear any audio?
Before for the show for the pre-show.
for the
Yeah.
intro.
The music and everything. Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything. Maybe it's just I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's this mount talk. Maybe it's just cut me off. He didn't want to play the sound. He didn't want to say celebration to Mason Mount. He didn't even welcome Mason Mount. Normally that music keeps everyone ticking. But we're here. We're live and kicking. Big up to everybody who's watched it. There's over 400 of you already in the building. Straightjacket podcast 235. I know it's not on a Monday. But it's just kind of destined to be on this day where we're filming. But Nuruddin, I'm back from New York. And we're here, man. How are you, man?
Yeah, man. Big up, bro. We're glad that you returned safe and sound. With all that New York state of mind, it looked like you were dripping out there, man. It was all lit.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. That's what we do, man.
Did you have a good time? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think Kenya was better in terms of the experience, but in terms of the lifestyle and everything, it was New York's obviously the swagger. It's basically a bigger London, innit? But shout out
Yeah.
to everybody who's there, man. They're always giving me love. The United fans, there's loads of United fans over in New York, man. So big up to there. There was an Irish bar that I went to, and he said that Fergie came there, and all of the United players would go into that bar, the Irish bar in New York. So big up to that bar in New York. But yeah, listen. It was a pleasure, but you know what I mean. What I thought for me, we'd at least get some, ownership talk. We at least get something over the line. But it was all just kind of transfer gossip and whatnot. But we're here to talk about it all, man. And we have
Well,
to
you know
talk
what?
about it first up.
Actually, you should have made it happen, boy. You should have gone
I
out there
know.
and You should have.
I
You should
tried
have
to
gone.
find it. Nobody could.
Listen,
Nobody could tell me though. Nobody could tell me where the rain group was. I tried to find it on the map. They're in some disclosed kind of location.
you should have gone
So
to the New
it
York
is
Stock
what it is,
Exchange,
man.
man. Saeed, you should have gone to the New York Stock Exchange, rude boy. You should have gone, man. You should have met those 30%
Oh
owners,
God.
those boys who own the 30%.
I tell you what, man. But we have to discuss this one right now. Manchester United breaking news. Manchester United agree 60 million package from Mason Mount with Chelsea is done. Here we go. Personal terms agreed weeks ago on face-to-face talks between the clubs made it clear it's done. Agreement is done. The Mount becomes the United player. They never left the race. Nuruddin, how do you honestly feel? Because there's a lot of positivity going on right now. A lot of copium, a lot of, he's the best player in the world. I'm keeping it 100. I didn't want to sign Mount. I don't think he's anything special. I don't think he's anything great, but I'm willing to back him. I'm willing to see where he's at. I'm willing to see where he goes. Big up to Musa in the building. But I don't think he's the sort of player that's going to bridge the gap and catch Man City and we're all of a sudden winning trophies. One player doesn't do that, but what do you think, Nuruddin? And I'm going to get the super chats as well involved as well, man. But what do you think of the whole signing, man?
Did you see my tweet? I just tweeted, "Welcome to Manchester United, Mason Mount." It's for you to win me over with world-class performances. And then I said, sack the negotiator needs to be sacked because the negotiating team could not negotiate themselves out of a paper bag. This is where we are. Was that Mr. Bean is running the show, mate? Mr. Absolute Bean is running the show. Some guy called Hargreaves from Adidas is apparently our chief negotiator now. But for 60 million for a guy that's got 1 year left on his contract, are you taking the absolute biscuit? Nah, I'm not here for that. Not here for that. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's what we're doing. But Saeed, what worries me is that Manchester United will only make one signing in midfield. If that, we're in serious trouble. We're in serious trouble, people. I'm doing a show at 10:30 and I'm going to break it down. Because if we do not get a cover for Casemiro, good night, Vienna. I'm telling you now, we got battered 10 of the top teams in the league this season away from home. Why? Because we were not strong enough in midfield. We were not strong enough in midfield.
Facts.
And if that continues, 6-7 position, mate. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. And
I think the message is clear, though.
everybody said the first signing has got to be a striker. Everybody said the first signing's got to be a striker. But it is what it is. I understand why Eric Ten Hag wants him started. I've done a scouting report. While you were away, I scouted and I've done a scouting report. I actually scouted 3 players, Saeed, while you were away. We did a show. I scouted that Key Lang, Lee Kang kid, but somebody then in the chat told me that he just went to Paris Saint-Germain. Casado and Barella. They're the 3 that I scouted. I understand. I don't watch Chelsea loads. I don't do watch-alongs like some of you guys do, like you do, Saeed, right? So I don't watch Chelsea enough. One thing I know that the reasons why Eric Ten Hag likes him, because taking on tactical instruction from a coach, 100%. Mount gets 100% out of 100. He's very intelligent in terms of listening to managers' tactics. He's very good at triggering the press in certain pressing zones, and he's also very good at cutting out the passing lanes, right? That's what he's good at. He's off the ball. He's really good off the ball. But Saeed, Manchester United to go to the next stage, we need players who are good on the effing fucking ball. That's what we need. So I don't know where this is going. I just better hope Eric Ten Hag knows what's happening, because I'm telling you now, Eric Ten Hag's name is going to be trending a lot next season, because you know what the fan base are like. You know what the fan base are like. They won't be asked about
this
the
is why I'm looking at it. And we've already got these sort of players at our football club. Bruno Fernandes, you got Fred who gives the ball away a lot. There's a lot of players like this. Even Anthony, to a certain extent. Sometimes you kind of look at his performances and everyone's scrutinizing him after 1 year. That comes with the territory. This is Ten Hag's player. A lot of these players are his guys because he doesn't believe and trust the board over in Manchester United. Gonna get a quick super chat here. HK Moose says Ten Hag out. F the process for 60 million. We could have got a better player than Mount. United fans are always toxic positive. Why we haven't won anything serious in years. And he carries on saying, love it when wages come out and the toxic positive fans say it's like we haven't been giving crazy wages for players for years. And I really dislike our fan base how much Mount a clear upgrade on Ericsson. Only upgrade Mount has on Ericsson is legs. And we are playing football or running track. Ten Hag out. Wow. Guys, there's 800 of you in here. Yeah, man, listen. This to be
Is that
fair,
HK
HK
music
music
that's gone
is
early? Is
consistent.
that HK music that's gone early? Said Tanaga.
Yeah, listen, he's Ten Hag
Listen,
out, man. He's saying, yo,
listen,
listen, I don't want the player. He wants
listen.
him out.
We would have
It
added.
is what it
I'll
is.
say this right. I'll say this now. We would have added. We would have added 5 more million and got Barella. And Barella is next levels. Next levels. Got voted the best midfield player in Italy last season.
Yeah.
I mean, get him on side. You need
Big
to
up
get him
Lewis,
on.
by the way, for the raid.
No, you know what? You should
Big up
get
Lewis.
him on. Give him a shout to see if you get him because I want to know what he thinks about it. He's a Chelsea guy.
Let me try and ask him. I'll give him the link. If he comes on, he comes on. If not, big up to Lewis. For
Lewis, come on, listen,
what you
Lewis.
call it, yeah,
This is your player. We don't know nothing about this guy, man. You come
yeah.
on.
Come on for
You
2
come on,
minutes to
break
give
it
your
down
sense.
for us.
But if not, no worries, bro. Musa, is he working now? Is it coming like Mount? The transfer Mount? Can you hear us?
You know what? You know what it is? My audio. I can't hear you guys properly. I don't know what it is.
Can you hear us now, though?
I can hear you. I tried to get it into my AirPods, but it's very low.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
you
me
might have
though?
to. If not, just run up the laptop if you can. Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
We can hear you
Yeah,
clearly.
you guys are very low on my end. I need to get you a bit higher. I just don't know how. Let me try to get into these settings.
Yeah, man. No stress, man. I'm gonna get some of these super chats anyway. Zaymiasi saying here, Timber, here we go. Him and Saliba will be best partnership in the league. Never mind Casemiro, who's always injured. We have a new sheriff in town, and his name is Rice. Oh my god.
No,
Listen,
you
shout
know
out
what?
to
You know what?
man.
You have to give it up for Arsenal. I think so
I
far.
know. They're showing ambition.
Listen,
Ambition.
Arsenal are winning the transfer window race, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far, Arsenal are winning it. The only thing is, you know what? And I like Kai Havertz. I think we're going to see Kai Havertz in a good system under Arteta coaching, and you're going to see a different player than you've seen at Chelsea. I promise you. Because he's not going to, you know why? You know why? He's not going to be asked to play up front. He's not going to be asked to play as a striker. He's going to be asked to play on either side, and you're going to see more creative skills from him. Kind of the Ozil kind of mode. Trust me. I'm going to call it. I'm calling it now. And say, Miasi, where have you been, lad? I still want to make that documentary. Who the hell is saying Miasi?
Dinish says Mountain 60 million McTominay. Now we can get Caicedo and hello from Chelsea drinking the minerals. Oh my god.
Caicedo's going to Chelsea, mate. It's done. It's done.
Big up, big up my guy.
That breaks me. That literally breaks me. That breaks me. I would pay.
You know what? We're going to talk about that. And for me, Manchester United have got to, for me, hijack this Caicedo deal. Before I bring on Lewis here, I'm going to read these super chats here because I want to get the comments out first before this troll comes here and trolls us, because that's what he's going to do. Big Ben says, big up Saeed and Nuruddin bringing the energy. Big up, love the energy, lads. Why is United essential? He's full silent, quality player. He's going to PSG. And Sean Lewis said, so happy with this signing with bagged and generational talent. What a bargain. Up the Red Devils. I love Chelsea, of course. Thank you, 60 million. Eid Mubarak. Ole, ole, ole. And look at him here. I told you, lot, man. This is what they've done to us. He's got his shades on. They have literally had 200 odd million in player sales this month. They are laughing at everyone in the Premier League. 200.
Saeed, I'm not saying that. You know what? They literally didn't bring the Vaseline to the negotiating table, man. That's all I'm saying. No Vaseline. It's always, isn't it, from Manchester United, mate? No Vaseline.
Also, I mean, what are you saying anyway, Lewis? I know you're drinking something there. You know, very exotic, probably. You got your shades on. Yeah. What are you telling me?
Drinking the minerals, bro. Drinking the minerals. I told you, man. I told you. If you didn't want Mount, you would have pulled out of the deal. If you lot weren't going to accept what we were asking for. If it was too much money and everything, you wouldn't keep negotiating. If you really didn't want Mason Mount, you guys had plenty of time to back out of the deal. But you didn't.
On a serious one, Lewis, genuinely, Can you give us an insight? Because if you sign a Manchester United player, I'm happy to come on your channel and talk about the player and give you his pros and cons.
There is no serious.
What do you think about? Listen. You can put the banter aside. Put the banter aside 1 second. What kind of a player do Manchester United have signed? What kind of a player have we signed?
A straight road runner, bruv, of the highest order, generational clapper.
Wow.
Wow. The guy has 9 open players.
Are you amazed that you got 60 million?
What?
Are you amazed that you got 60 million?
Bro, I would have taken half that. It's English tax that gets him the other 30 million. Like, the guy has declined for us. If you asked me this 2 years ago, I'd be able to tell you a little bit more and say he's a bit more consistent on set pieces. He's better at take-ons. He gets into space better. He's got a smarter IQ and all of that. But that's all declined in the last 18 months. And now he's just a distance cover. He's a lawnmower. That's it.
Listen, but let me just ask this question. How much of that is Chelsea's chaos in the last 2 years? And how much of it is literal, genuine decline?
I'd say it's mostly on him because first half of the season, I could put a lot of our failures strictly down to Mason Mount. Either just being straight invisible in games for 60 minutes straight, or just ignoring runners around him, over-hitting passes, under-hitting passes, just awful decision-making, horrific, terrible, disgraceful decision-making, and he would never get dropped. Game in, game out. And like the reason why we would never make a lot of chances in game in the first half of the season was because he was the guy connecting the midfield and the attack, and he weren't connecting shit. So, nah, there's nothing. There's nothing. He covers ground. He's a good presser. Off the ball, gives you all the intangibles that you'd love. On the ball, he's great at half turns. World-class half turn. Everything after that is a question.
I don't know. When was this an attribute, half turns? Let me get the super chats in. Toxic Taliban, big up to you, latest member of the channel. Big up to you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Winter Surfer, listen, you didn't tell me anything. We told you Manny Minerals Mount on his way. I listen. Big up the Zim God. I said, big up Saeed and Nordin. Wish I could have come to New York to see you. I'm sorry, bro. You know what it was? We were so busy. I didn't have the time. There was a meetup. I don't know if you've seen the Big Six Instagram channel. We did a poster saying come and meet us, but it's no we'll definitely link up another time. I may be going to the United Arsenal game. I'm trying to sort something out. So if I can do that, then I will. But if not, there's always another time, bro. But I appreciate you, man. Fator says, Saeed, love you. You love that passion, desire, Mason, Tony Mount, Stretford and passion perch, and that's what you're asking for. Musa, can you hear us now? Can you hear us properly now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Excellent.
What are you saying, Musa?
Boy, man.
Listen, first of all, can we wish everybody Eid Mubarak, man? People who are still celebrating.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak. Yeah, absolutely. Eid Mubarak.
Yesterday, that's why I was at the game. You didn't see me yesterday, but Mason Mount, man, I don't think we're over. None of us last season or at the end of the season was thinking we're going to draw up a list of midfielders that we want. And I don't think anyone had Mason Mount in their top 10. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But he's here now. And like I've been saying, I think if we're swapping Mason Mount for McTominay, I'm happy for that. If you're telling me McTominay's off and we can get 30 million for him, 35, and we're bringing in Mason Mount as someone who's going to do something similar, offer us something in certain games, then I'm good to go. I feel like when Mason Mount came up with Lampard, you know, I think what I remember, especially my brother's a Chelsea fan, I remember he was having a lot of good games for Chelsea and he was doing a lot for Chelsea. But I always say players like Mason Mount are similar to our Scott McTominay's in that when you get them through the academy and they do well, you keep them, but you really go and get them off another team. But I think he does have more to offer than a McTominay. I think he does have more to offer on the ball. I think he's footballing IQ is much better. I've seen him, being able to play in tight spaces and also to play well in a good team. Because sometimes what you've seen with some of our Man United players is that even when we're playing well, we can still pick them out. like Scott and say, listen, we kind of dragged him through that game. And from what I've seen with Mason Mount, when Chelsea have played well and he's played his part, he's also played well. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes, I get it, especially in a squad like Chelsea. If I was a Chelsea fan, with the amount of players they've brought in and the amount of midfielders they have, you're not going to be losing any sleep. You know what I'm saying? Letting someone like Mason Mount go. But I wouldn't be quick to say that he's not going to have something to offer us at Man United. And I think the money that we're paid in 55 million, and we got to accept it. You got to look at, you know, someone like Declan Rice, who's gone for 105 million. Is he twice, you know, the player that Mount is? Is that what we're saying?
Let me ask you a question though, Mandem.
3 times.
Question, though.
3 times.
We've done this before. I feel like we've done this before where we buy a player, but we don't have the facilities around him to succeed and flourish. Pogba was a prime example. You know, there's been so many players, and I'm not comparing the talent, but for Mason Mount to fry, there needs to be a midfield there that's coherent and that is balanced. There's no balance for me in that midfield. Whether you put him with any midfielder, even if you put him with Casemiro, Fred, and Mount, even if you put him with Casemiro, Bruno, and Mount, even if you put it with McTominay, Casemiro, there's no, for me, balance. That's why, for me, I'm saying it live on air. Hijack the Caicedo deal. Do whatever it takes, yeah, to hijack it, because that will be an unbelievable player. If you put him alongside Casemiro, then you put a Mason Mount, then you've got balance. What balance have you got? What balance have you got? Seriously.
But I think that you're looking at the old United.
Cooking.
But I think you're thinking of the old United. You're not thinking about the United Eric Ten Hag is trying to create and the football that he wants to play.
Okay. So say now, yeah, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Mount is in the midfield. Okay.
Yeah.
Even just looking at it from a stylistic point of view, where's the ball retention? Where's
Let me give an example.
When I look at, sorry,
Let me give an example. If Mount would have went to Liverpool, everybody would have said, I get it.
There you go.
Why though? Why do you get it for Liverpool? Why can he play in a free of Liverpool of him, someone like who else would they put in there?
Because
Mount.
Because it's balanced. There's balance in that team.
Where's the balance though? Name me a midfield of balance with Mount in Liverpool.
No, but if you look at, because there's one thing here. When you look at the actual Jurgen Klopp football, and you have the 2 8s, and you have the one holder midfielder, you have the wingers that score goals. They tuck in narrow. You got Firmino who's dropping in deep. You got the fullbacks overlapping. I know what the plan is with Man United, because I know, and this football club isn't going to get the other missing pieces. What's the point?
It's coming, I think it's coming. I think Eric Ten Hag is saying to us, you lot have had a lot of players that run around, do a lot of running around, got a bit of muscle in the middle of the park, and we still lost games. And I think we need players who are actually good on the ball and who are possession-based. I think Mason Mount is good on the ball. And I think he can also do the other things that some of the other players can do. I just feel like Man United are going to go towards more technical, you know, more players that are good on the ball. Because if you think about our squad, how many players do we really have who are good? Like, we want Eric Ten Hag to play this new way. But if you look at our squad, or if you look at our first 11, who's actually good on the ball?
So Mount isn't using that as a measurement. But that is a good measurement, isn't it? Eriksen's good on the ball.
We got Eriksen. We got Martinez,
and
we got
probably it. For being honest with you, that's probably it. Casemiro is decent technically, but he's not the greatest.
He's on the ball when he wants to be.
Bruno can be, but he likes to also let it go. But like you said, it's true. He can be if he wants it, but we don't. And I think we're trying to get more players like that, because I look at Fred and I see Mason Mount being able to get busy and run around and press and do all of that. But I'm not worried about when the ball's given to him in certain positions that I'm worried about with Fred. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm saying if I'm swapping Fred, I'm not saying Mason Mount has to be a starter, but I'm looking at if Mason Mount comes off the bench, and this is the thing, I think we're in a position as United fans, we're thinking, oh, he's a starter, he's everything. But I'm looking at it, we've got McTominay on the bench, we've got Fred on the bench. What's going on here? Like, let's sell these two. Let Fred go to Fulham. Let McTominay go to West Ham, who want him. Bring in about 50 million for the pair of them. Yeah, we've got Mason Mount for those two to do a job. let's go and get more. And I feel like with the new ownership hopefully coming in, we're not going to get them now, but I feel like January transfer window is going to be a very important window for us here at Old Trafford. That's what I believe. I think it's going to be a massive window. And I think if we make the right moves then, we're going to get in a few more players that we need. I think right now we can get about maybe 3 more if we're lucky. Because I'm looking at 4 buyers around the 50 million mark.
You know what?
I think we need to sell a few as well.
Musa's on that point.
250K a week.
Lewis,
Oh my God.
Let me just read this, Musa. Let me just read this, Nuruddin. The story on Mason Mount's move: 55 million fee agreed with potential 5 million add-ons. Mount will sign a 5 + 1 year contract. This is what, again, I don't get about Man United. Why do you need to splash 6-year contract on a player? Like, what is wrong with you lot? Like, seriously, you've done this with Harry Maguire. You've done this with so many players. Why offer this crazy contract to a player? It don't make sense.
Why have you done that?
I don't know. Some say
Listen, Chelsea's out here giving decades. They're out here giving decades.
Money. They can hold that. Hold
The
that.
Chelsea's out here giving players decades.
Dickhead was leaving for the money, and this is vindication to me. 200. He snaked Chelsea for 50K, and you lot backed him for this long when it was clear he wasn't re-signing. Hope you all feel as stupid as you lot have looked for the last 6 months.
How much did Chelsea?
You sound hurt. You sound hurt there.
No, I'm hurt because I've been calling this for 6 months and people have just said I'm an agenda merchant. I hate Mason Mount. No, Mount clearly don't want to be here. He clearly doesn't want to re-sign because he thinks he's worth way more than what his ability on the pitch is showing. And there you go. He left for 50K more than what Chelsea were offering him. And he shouldn't have even been offered 200K a week. That was generous enough from Chelsea. Prick. Despise him. Despise him. I'm glad he's gone.
250 grand a week with the ability to take up to 300K with bonuses. Listen, the wages, he was always going to get higher wages at United because that's what we do. It's more the contract for me because then if he does flop in the next 2 years, we've still got a 3-4 year, you know what I mean, to kind of obviously try and upload himself.
They'll be here for a decade, just like Jones. So don't worry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
If the Glazers stay, they'll give him another 5 years soon. So don't worry.
They're not staying.
I don't know, man. I think for me, like I said, it Mason Mount, when you bring him with other players, it makes sense. But when you bring him on its own, that's where, for me, the question lies. That's what I think. For me, bring Mason Mount alongside Caicedo, Amrabat, someone in that midfield that I understand it. But Mount as the only midfield option this summer, I worry because that means McTominay's staying. That means Fred staying 1 more season. That means Eriksen has more role in the team. That means everything is just kind of. It is true though. When you look
we're getting clapped. We're getting clapped again by the top 10 teams in the league next season.
No,
Mark my words.
I think our youngster in the middle of the pitch, man. I think he's gonna have more games this season. I think it's going to be a breakthrough season.
Kobe Mino.
For Kobe Mino, yeah, 100%. And I think Erik Ten Hag.
Musa, bro, he ain't saving us, bro.
It's not about saving us. It's not about saving us. But listen, like, Garnacho didn't save us, but he had enough impact that Man United fans think he deserves the number 7 shirt.
Bro, I'm doing a Bon Jovi, living on a prayer. I'm living on a prayer. Whoa. That's what we're doing, bro. You're telling me Kobe Manu is gonna help me next season. Remember I told you that, yeah?
Oh, Mason Mount's got you, man. He's got the minerals.
Remember I told you Kobe Minor's going to have a breakthrough season for us this season. Remember I told you guys.
Oh, man. It's peak, man. Before I bring in Aaron, big up to Mike, says, wasn't Matt Law the same Donny who said that Mount was staying? Stop believing reported wages until Oni and Fab reported.
See, here's the thing. Matt Law's thing is that he will say whatever makes Mason Mount look good. So I believe this. I believe that's the reported wages. And also for you guys, I do hope Mason Mount really starts kicking on for you guys. Because if he doesn't, you're going to have guys like him writing PR sheets on how Mason Mount is important and pivotal to Manchester United's system because of distance covered and successful presses between the midfield and the attack. It doesn't matter that he's only made 2 through balls from August to February, in spite of being the guy who's meant to connect the midfield and the attack together. But he presses. That's fine. Yeah. You guys'
My
problem.
There you
scouting
go.
report, from my scouting report, he's a lot better off the ball than he is on the ball. That's what I found. When I looked
Yeah,
at
he's an
all the
aggressor.
stats,
We got
that's what
Fred
he
for
does.
that. We got Fred for that.
He's
You know
a
what I mean?
presser. That's
Aaron,
all he is. He's a
Nah, come on,
ball
Saeed. He's not Fred. You know he's
bro, he's a
he's much better
glorified
than
Fred,
Fred.
man. Let's be real, man. He's a glorified Fred, man.
How much
Fred
did we
could
pay for
make-
Fred?
No, top. Hey,
How much did we pay for Fred?
we paid 50 million. 50 million for
That's what
Fred.
I'm saying. This is the price. This is for me. In terms, if you're telling me we're going to get rid of McTominay and Fred, and we're going to bring in Mason Mount, I'm all right with it. I'm not saying that he's the guy that I wanted to go for, but I'm all right with it. I'm not going to
Do
go.
you
I'm
rate
not
Fred
going
and
to.
McTominay?
Huh?
Do you rate Fred and McTominay?
No, I don't rate them
So why would you be happy with bringing him out when it's a sideways step at best?
because I believe that he can do what they do. He does what they do together. We kept on saying we need someone who can do what Fred can do and what McTominay can do. We said it as a fan base for
To a
ages.
better
Yeah.
level because you don't rate them.
No, but we needed a player who is one in both. And I think that Mason Mount is Fred and McTominay in one.
But you
He can
don't.
do
You just
both
said
their
you don't
job.
rate either of them.
Even
So you don't rate their
Yeah.
attributes.
No, I don't rate them in terms of
better,
them
man.
on their own. When they're together, they can do a job. And we've always said we need a player who can do what they both can do together. I think Mason Mount is that guy. I don't think he's somebody that if he's not in your team, you think, oh, he's this and that. But you see what it is? Because I know my brother's a Chelsea fan. I remember watching a lot of Chelsea games when you lot were doing good, and he was a big part of that. And I remember that. So whatever anyone says and what they don't say, I remember the games. He had a bad season last season, but name me a Chelsea player who had a good season last season.
Easiest argument to make, but this is the thing.
No, but factually, if you look at your whole team,
shine in bad systems and still look good in spite of that.
no, look at that guy that you gave a decade contract to, that Arsenal wanted. You gave him 10 years or something. What's his name? Mudryk. He had a poor season.
Yeah, Mudryk's not been great, but Enzo's been great for us. And he's got the
Enzo's
same thing.
been good. I like Enzo.
And
Enzo's
he's
been
trying to inspire the system because he's good enough.
I like
Mount
Enzo.
is not good enough,
Let
and
me,
we prioritize him. We basically built the team for him. He was the centerpiece of it, and he is the one who declined. He is the one who regressed. He's the one who started focusing more on Mason Mount, the brand, as opposed to Mason Mount, the player, and that's been his downfall.
I think when
pick up
Tuchel left,
HK Music
Listen,
says
one
Mount
minute.
can never do the
That's
defensive
true.
stuff.
Listen.
Fred, hold on, Nuruddin. Mount can never do the defensive stuff. Fred does pressing without being able to tackle is useless. Well, there you go. I think for
Why
me,
do you say
it just
something
shows you
loose?
the levels we're at right now. We're comparing Mount to Fred, and it should be Fred and what's better than him times 10 if you want to
Right.
really compete for the best.
Listen, 100%. Lewis, what you just said, the last two words of his sentence there, Mason Mount started focusing on a brand. Well, he's found his football club because that's all we are. That's all we are.
Nuruddin, check the private chat. I've just sent you a thread. Read through it in your own time. It's a very, very good thread that exposes Mason Mount being more the PR whore than he is an actual good football player. You'll see it.
Wow.
More media appearances this season than goals and assists for Chelsea. Man's real focus.
Yo, Aaron.
You'll see it all in that thread.
Aaron, chat to me. What are you saying, Aaron, man? Mason Mount deal. You know what I mean? What's your honest take on the deal right now? It's happened now. It's a United player. It is what it is. What's your opinion right now as it stands?
I don't know what to make of it, man. I think I've stated enough times that I'm highly skeptical of this move if it was to materialize. And now that it's actually happened, it's a thing where I'm just gonna have to wait and see, because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I genuinely can't name you two things that Mason Mount is good at. Trust me, I want to be positive. I want to, but I just can't name you stuff that he's good at. And if I can name you things, it's like Lewis said, it's off the ball stuff. And like Nuden said after that, we don't really need any more players that are good at off the ball stuff. We need players that are good on the ball, especially with the style of play that Ten Hag is trying to play, or that he's supposed to play. Because right now I'm doubting it, Saeed. I'm not going to lie to you. Right now I'm thinking that Ten Hag wants to play a completely different brand of football, which involves a lot of running, a lot of physicality, a lot of putting yourself about, where's the technicality? Where's the ball security? Where's the ball retention? I'm really starting to question that, and I don't want to because I like Ten Hag, I really do, but I'm starting to ask myself a lot of questions, man. Now, listen, we can sit here and talk about Mount, and we can all be wrong. Yeah, he can have a banging start to the season, and he's one of our best players. We never know, but it's highly unlikely, bro. It's highly unlikely. Like I'm
I
really.
think so. I disagree. I just feel like Mount is no one had Mount in their top 10 transfers for this window. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Mount is as bad as everyone's going on. I think Mason Mount, I think our manager's come in and he's very also, he's influenced a lot by the German game, and I think he's come in, he's seen the football, he's looked at the type of football that he wants to play, and I think it's going to be a mix between Klopp and Pep. It's not going to be one or the other. And I think he knows that he needs players that can be physical enough for this league, but when they do get the ball, they make something of it. Don't run around all game, putting people under pressure or being put under pressure, only to get the ball like Fred, and then it's just curtains. I think Mount can get about, do what he's doing, and when he actually gets the ball and it's time to play forward to a Rashford, to a Garnacho, he's going to play the ball. And we're not going to be like we do with Fred. It breaks down. The brother can play the ball. Also, when he had a great season for Chelsea, I watched it time and time. There was a game for Chelsea, I think it was against Southampton, when he scored 2 goals. Like, he just dragged them out from nowhere. They were playing crap.
Up against Southampton because he's a Portsmouth fan. So.
But it is what it is, but he dragged them out. And the brother, like he arrives late in the box here, like a Lampard, and you think to yourself, how did he get, I used to watch it with my brother, how did this guy get here and score this goal? Because he hasn't done nothing that's amazing, but he's got the ball, he's spun the play, like he said, he's good on, like he can spin, and he's just like popped up a shot.
You brought up Southampton. You should see Mason Mount's record against the top 6 sides if you want to laugh.
I remember him in the Champions League final through ball. I remember him turning up in Champions League final.
The UCL argument, please. I've had 3 years
know
of
what,
this
man?
habit, please. It's one game. Mount was brilliant in 2021. I'll always give him credit for that. Always.
But that means that's who we signed. We've signed that 2021 player. That's who we've signed. We haven't signed last year's player.
Great. 1 second, Musa. What made him great, Lewis, in 2021? What made him great?
His progressive play was a lot better. He was actually beating players more. He looked a lot quicker. Decision-making was better. He was better defensively. His all-round game was just better in 2021. Now, he's clueless. He will disappear for 60 minutes a game. Overhit pass, underhit pass. Can't beat a man for shit. Gets the ball on the half-turn, just thinks, Lampard! But it's in a bad position, so it gets blocked. So everything's just off with him. It's been over the last 18 months.
What I've seen of him, what I've seen, is that technique that he does on the edge of the box, in where the left-hand side, on the edge of the box, he tries to go for the bender, and it's always like goes wide.
Yeah, he's tried that a few times, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it, though.
That's what I see. And when players do that for me, it tells me they don't believe in themselves to get the ball into the box and back the defender up. Do you understand what I'm saying? And back the defender into the defender touches you, you get a penalty, right? And he doesn't believe it. So it's about confidence and about belief.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Here's the thing:
he's become the brand.
He was in a position to have all that confidence, though, because the team was built around him, and he was in a position where he was playing well. No one did anything to take away the confidence from him. The decline was a cause of himself, his application deteriorating.
Yeah. But wasn't that due to him not getting the contract? Go on, sorry.
No, because this has been more than last season. It was kind of the season before, masked it with 30 GNA in the season. But if you watch the games, he was inconsistent as fuck. It was happening from then. It's just
he had a good season, but you're saying that he masked it. I just feel like we've had that with.
He didn't have a good season. None of us, our attackers, had a good season. I don't know the last time one of our attackers have had a good season.
The season before last, I remember Mason Mount having a good season for you.
The season, what, 21-22? No, it's just goals and assists that make it look that way. He was inconsistent.
Let's get super chats in, Musa.
Let me just get this. What's his record against the top 6?
I think he scored against Liverpool.
That was the first thing.
That was lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like 1 assist against Spurs in there to Thiago Silva. That's
poor, I'm not gonna lie.
probably about it. Did he do anything? No, we haven't scored against City in years.
What is he like on the big games? Has he got a big
Sounds like Bruno
big
to me.
tournament?
Bro, you don't notice him, man. Like, other than 2021, like, yeah, he was great in that run and everything.
UCL
Like,
final.
that's it.
It's these stats. I want to stick on these stats for 21, 22. What was these stats?
Actually, I'll find
Let's get back to these 21, 22 stats.
But that's over a year ago. Go.
No, but that was last year. Those stats, you know them better than me. Yeah, it was about 30 goals and assists. Yeah, in 21.
30 goals and assists in the season. He had 10 and 11 in the league, I think.
That's what I'm saying. And you man are telling me that if we get that at Man United from him, with Fred and McTominay, when are they giving us those numbers?
If you use context, most of them were just stat padded against the bottom 5 teams in the league, and then he didn't.
But you know what we're saying is, you see what it is, yeah.
Goals against Norwich.
No, but Saeed,
How many goals did he score against
He
Norwich?
is Norwich, man.
But
scored like
Saeed,
5 goals and 3
How many did
assists
he score
against
against
them.
Norwich?
Like
He scored
5
how
goals
many
and 3 assists.
Exactly. There you go.
but Saeed, you're dealing with a man who's come from a Abramovich. These men have been buying players and doing stuff. This is us over here, man. Them like, we are where we are. We're talking about Fred and McTominay.
Here it is. So Mason Mount, he had an assist against Arsenal in 1920, goal against United in the Cup semi-final, goal against Liverpool, 1 assist v City, 2 more assists v Arsenal, and 1 v Spurs. That's all against the Big Six in about 4 years. So 5 assists and 2 goals against the Big Six.
Oh, that's
years.
bad, man. That's
5
really
assists
bad.
and
Compared
2 goals.
to who?
Wait, hold on.
Compare it to world-class players in Big Six games.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. But bad compared to who, guys?
World-class money. Well, that's just
No
his
one said
goals
he was world class.
compared to anyone. It's not
No,
compared
no,
to anyone.
Let me get these super chats then.
I agree. No one said he's world class. I agree with you, Musa. But 5. What did you say, Lewis? 5 goals and 3 assists, 2 assists.
No. 2 goals, 5 assists,
That's
and 1 was in the
poor,
FA
man.
Cup.
That is poor.
Guys, can I read the super chats? Let me just read the super
Not a
chat.
single one since April 2022. But go on, sorry.
Big up Mike. He says here, if you watch Ten Hag's Ajax, Mount is the exact same type of player he gets. Also, what has Enzo been great at? 120 million for side eyes.
Oh, allow
big
it,
up-
man. Enzo's like the only good player at Old Trafford.
Saeed, I told you, Mason Mount is our Donny van der Beek. I told you this.
You know what?
Eric Ten Hag-
Donny van der Beek.
No, but Eric Ten Hag.
Donny
This
van der
is
Beek,
not-
hold on a minute. Donny van der Beek is the same brother that was at Ajax. But yet, why can't he transform Donny van der Beek then?
He can't do it.
No, this is
Why?
You know
Why?
what?
Why?
This is not the first time I'm hearing this, Musa. You're probably the 4th or 5th person I'm hearing say this.
You.
No, just in general about Mason Mount being our English version of Donny van der Beek. And you know what? Somewhere I can get that. If Ten Hag has a plan where he just wants, because Donny van der Beek, apart from the technique, because he was technical at Ajax,
It's not physical.
all he
enough.
was doing is arriving late in the box, and his finishing was very good. Because the 2 goals that I have in mind straight away in my head was the one against Juve away, and I think the one against Real Madrid, if I'm not wrong. I think it was those 2. If Ten Hag has a plan where that's what he wants Mount to do, I'm all for it. I just don't trust him. I just don't trust him in the build-up, on the ball, being technical enough to put like a nice through ball, a cut through ball through the
He is,
defense.
guys. He is. I don't want to send man the compilations. Man would just say it looks easy, but I'm telling you, man, them. You see, what he can do what Donny does. He can press. He can hassle the other side, the other team. But when he gets the ball, he can actually do something with it. And I know that we're saying that he hasn't done it since his first season at Chelsea, where he was great and all of that. But listen, Eric Ten Hag wanted him before when he was on loan in Holland. He's seen what he can do. He knows what Donny van der Beek done for him. We've just bought a player for £55 million. Like, that's what he is in terms of English players. So we know really he's about 35 million. So the English taxes are 20 on top. He's a Donny van der Beek, an English version, and I think that's what he's going to give us. I'm not, but we need to go and get another midfielder. We need to get.
I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Big up LJ Brown says to all the Chelsea fans that abuse Lewis for his views to certain players, hold that. Minerals must be having a meltdown, proper mang. Big up HK Moose says, why do we keep mentioning Fred? And when Fred doesn't even start for us, Eriksen's a better player than Mount. This is a toxic positivity I'm talking about with the United fan base. The Roman Ronnie says, really going from Frankie de Jong to Mason Mount. This is what I'm saying. It's crazy when you actually.
Eriksen was on holiday
Musa. Let me
for
finish this.
2 months.
Going to be here all day. Musa, Lucy watches the Chelsea game in, game out, and he's telling you that this man is rubbish. And you're a United fan who doesn't watch Mount is assistant. He's great. You said he and McFred combined too. AJ said Lewis was Mount best period in the COVID season. Bubble football.
Yes.
Yeah, he did say that as well.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. Nathan McSweeney says certain players thrive under managers and different styles of players. Ten Hag wanted him. Let's get back on it. And by the way, yeah, did you see the have you man seen Reece James on Twitter?
Yeah, I've seen the tweet. I've seen it. Yes.
That's my
crazy, man.
Proper Chelsea.
Why would he say that though? If you smoke, no smoke without fire, no, or is he just kind of like just replying?
No, he's just saying, see these dickheads, these snakes, I'm different.
Do you think he's?
Yeah, is that what he's
do you
saying?
think that was a shot at people that went to Arsenal, Lewis? Like whether it's
I hope
anyone
so.
before that.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Here
I
it is,
don't
people.
know. I feel like he's
So-
it's like an easy shot for him to make with all of the clear outs, and it makes him look so big as a result of it. But
Yeah,
Reece can have that praise. I don't care. I'll rate him like that anyway. He deserves all the money that he's on. I don't care about the injuries. He's needed depth. We got Malo Gusto in. Let's go.
Look at this guy here coming in.
Proper
Proper
fucking
show, not like others. Yeah, make sure you shout out to Carefree Lewis. Follow him on Twitter. But yeah, he just put up on here. Reece James asked said no there.
But I think even the official Chelsea account quote tweeted it and said one of our own or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to indirect Mount because of how this whole situation's come out. Chelsea are going to feel very pissed off about it because they've been negotiating with this for ages. But Mount has persisted that he doesn't want to join. Doesn't want to stay. Even leaked that he didn't want to stay to Fabrizio a couple days ago to try and drive down his transfer value. Hold that, dickhead. We still got the 60 million out of it, even though you tried, you pussy. But yeah, Mount is the biggest rat for us, so I don't blame Chelsea for dropping indirects on his head.
You know what? I'm just thinking now, I think Mount and Havertz are going to get a very, very interesting reception back at Stamford Bridge this season.
I cannot wait. The fact that United's at home's in April pains me, man. I need that in August or something.
Oh,
Too
God.
long.
That's going to be very interesting to see, you know. I'm looking forward to that.
I think we play United
ready.
away in like December or something as well. It's long.
Yeah, I'll be there, man. If you can kiss that badge, then we'll see in it. You know what I mean? By the way, guys, there's 1.5k in here. Please like the video. There should be at least 1,000 likes. If we've not got 1,000 likes, then you man are just basically a jokers in it. So please, I'm just kind of telling you right now, like the video.
Pay your
likes
rent.
for minerals.
Pay your rent.
There you go.
It's free.
It's free, man. Free. The minerals are free. Welcome to 4 years of Mount Stream, bro. McFred and Mount is a midfield. Is different gravy. Get out of here, man. But
That is some rotten gravy, bruv.
HK Musa says you can't name one thing that Mount does better on the ball than Eriksen. We are playing football. We are not running back. Look how running track compared to playing football worked out for Liverpool and City. There you go, man. It's mad, you know. It's
Mount
crazy
throws
to be like that.
the Champions League medal in his head. He'll wake up.
It's such a terrible argument, though, bro.
Why is it terrible when he was one of your best players in the game?
He's not only one of the stinkiest forwards I've ever seen play football.
Listen, but he was one of your best players in the final.
Who, Mount?
Yeah. I watched it.
I mean, he played well, but
Come on. Come on. I don't care about what he hasn't played. In the final.
If you ask me who played excellently in that game in order, I'll go Kante first, Havertz second. That's his best performance ever in a Chelsea shirt. Then you could go Jorginho, Rudiger,
oh my
Aspi. Defending was the biggest part of that game, bro. We were playing Man City.
Not only defending, why forget
League,
what I
We
saw.
won the Champions League with the least conceded goals since 1996. We did not win
This is what I was talking about, guys. You know?
three was Havertz, Mount, and Werner. That is such a
And this is what I was talking about, man. This is what I was talking about. When you're having to defend and dig deep, and then when you get the ball, you're decisive. That's what Mount was on the final. The brothers, they defended and defended, and when he
that's
got the
what
ball,
Mo said
That's
one
not what you
opportunity,
said. You said he was one of the best
moment.
players in the
he
final. You
was
didn't talk
because
about
of that.
moments. You
Because
said
of that
you had
moment.
the best performance in the final. He weren't
Yeah,
top
because look,
three. He
you
weren't top
defended.
three.
Well, look, you defended as a team. He was a part of that unit. He done well. But when he got the ball, he was an outlet. He made sure he used it well. And that's
Yeah, he
what
did
led
his
to your
job.
goal.
He did his
See,
job.
now he's
But
done
like,
his job.
there were better players in that final than Mason Mount. I
None of them.
despise
Jordan's
Havertz
quiet,
way
man.
more
He
than
don't know what to
Mount.
say.
And I will say Havertz was 10 times better than him. 10 times better than him.
Learning is defeated.
And
Learning is
people know how
defeated.
much I despise Havertz. This isn't an agenda thing. Mount was like, he was good in that game, but weren't outstanding. Just like one great moments from him, and that was it. I don't remember anything else he did.
I'm
in
not
that
gonna lie
game.
to you. All I'm thinking about is the last 10 games away. The 10 games away to the top 10
know.
teams.
Oh.
And all I know is that how we got bullied. Midfield is a very important part of the football pitch, and if you control the midfield, you usually dictate the game, and then you go down. Most likely, you win the game.
Yeah.
I always say there's 3 results in a football game: you win, you lose, you draw. But
You
it's
lose,
the
draw,
way
yeah.
you lose. It's the way I want my team to lose, where their goalkeeper is man of the match. Their goalkeeper, the bar, the post, we've cracked everything. They've defended outstanding. At the end of the day, Mason Mount, like I said, I hope he proves me wrong, genuinely, and I'm with agreement with Aaron and a lot of the things that he's saying as well. But also to be objective, guys, we have to see what Moose is coming from. Like I said, his brother is a Chelsea fan, and he's watched games. You know what I mean? When you watch your brother, you have banter in it, so you watch games together.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
in that sense, I can understand. But to be at Chelsea for 4 years and to have one good season, that ain't saying nothing for me, man.
He hasn't had one good season, guys, man. Last season was his only bad season.
Okay,
Last
No.
season.
The season before he wasn't even great, and the
I'd
first
say- I
season
would say
wasn't
1.5.
even great. He had one good season, if you want to talk. 2021 was his only brilliant season. That was it.
And you know what? I don't count
30 goals and assists the season before, and we saying it was a bad season.
Stats are not all in football. You
Listen,
have to
see what I was going to say, something, guys. When the season's said and done, and the games have been played, and we need to now look back and see who actually, put something forward for that team that season. All we have is the stats. That's all we have. When we need to look back.
No, you don't. You have that if you don't watch the games and you have no context.
When it's all said and done, 10 years, when we look back.
But
Go
Musa,
on.
can I ask you a question? Is the stats only one part of it, though? To tell the
No,
whole story?
I don't. No, it's not. But I just believe when you're a part of a big team. No, I don't think it's the only thing. But I think when you're a part of a big team.
That's why.
Yeah, but I think when you're a part of a big team that's playing well, and you're able to put up, in terms of goals and assists, 30 for your team, you can say, I've done my job. You can look around and say, I don't know what everyone else was on, but I've tried my thing, innit? I put forward. This is what I done this season. I might not play good in every game, but when I did play good, I played good and I put forward. I say, when you look at Fred, when did he put up those numbers?
Insane copium, bro. If
But
you
see,
fail,
Fred,
you feel like, oh, at least I did my job. No,
listen,
Mason Mount was the best of the bad bunch last season. That doesn't mean he was great. It means there were other bigger problems than he was at the time.
And I agree, but what I'm trying to say, you're a Chelsea fan, and I get it.
You're trying to defend him, bro.
No, because what you, as a Chelsea, from a Chelsea standpoint, I agree. But I have to deal with the fact that if Casemiro's not playing next season, I might see Fred or McTominay come off the bench. This is what I have to deal with. And I have to deal with the fact that these guys have never put up Mason Mount numbers. This is what I have to deal with.
Man. How are you going to do Mason Mount numbers there when you got a baseline of McTominay and
You've
Fred?
got Bruno.
No, but what I'm saying to you,
he's done better than Mason Mount. Then you've got
no,
Bruno.
but what I'm saying to you, Saeed, is that Eriksen went missing for the last 2 months of the season. You saw him go missing, Saeed. The guy was nowhere to be seen.
Why he went missing. It's because he played a lot. That's one thing as well. But also, when you look at the midfield as well, nobody ain't really doing anything. Who was doing anything in that?
He ain't got the legs, Saeed. Eriksen ain't got it. It was a free to fill in the hole.
Mount ain't got the legs. That's the only thing he has.
No, I said Eriksen ain't got the legs. That's what I'm saying. Mason Mount's got that, so he can come in. The thing about what I see Mason Mount doing, he's got the legs in the middle of the park to help and to do his bit. But what I'm happy with now, we've had players in the past, McTominay, who's got the legs, Fred, who's got the legs, but then when it's time to do the other part, they don't do it. I believe Mason Mount does. And I saw it in the biggest game of all, the Champions League final. That's all I'm saying.
I
So
feel like
one
the
moment is all you're
sample
going.
size. Your sample size is very small. That's what I'm saying to you. I know you're trying to look for positives, but the sample size for me is not good enough, and it's not
You
consistent
want to talk
enough.
about the
And
big
what do we
games?
have
Can
in
we
our
talk
team?
about the Carabao
Same
Cup
thing.
final last year?
Let me just get rid of
Our
super
big
chats
game.
anyway. Yeah. Let me get
Here's
rid
the
of
thing:
stupid
if that
super chats.
Mason Mount chance got us the Champions League, then he cost us the Carabao Cup too. He cost us the FA Cup.
There you go. HK Music says you keep mentioning his Champions League trophy. He had Kante and Jorginho behind him, not just Casemiro alone. Playing Mount and Bruno won't work.
I agree
big
with
up
that.
to-
I agree with that.
I agree,
Yeah.
but we're not finished. We've always said that we need another defensive
We
midfielder.
ain't gonna get another one. This is the thing. This is. I feel like this is it now. This is it. I feel like for me, this is it. When it shouldn't be, this is it.
I don't think
If
so.
this is it, we're in big trouble. If
So
this is it, we're in big trouble.
That's why I'm defeated. That's why I'm defeated.
Yeah, yeah. Shannon Star says, "Hope when he proves you're wrong and plays well, you keep the same energy." Listen, man, this is what I'm saying about
I will.
you know.
I will.
Yeah,
Promise
I have
you, I
my
will.
opinion now, and B, it will change. That's how football works. It's
Exactly.
natural. So you go in and giving this kind of, it's not a threat, but it's almost like he'll show you what it's what. Like that's what football is all about. But at the same time, it won't change my feeling right now. I don't think he's a player that you all think he is, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. That's just a simple matter of fact. But like I said to you, my what I've seen is a lot of what I've seen right now, and it ain't looking good. Musa has already been affected by the minerals. DY says Liverpool may be cheap as shit, but at least we will not help fund a potential contender. Thanks a lot, Arsenal and 7-Up FC. With Mount and Bruno, Casemiro is going to break down.
Feel for his
And
knees,
C the says, congratulations on your purchase of magic jelly beans. Enjoy the pointless Mason Mount debate and endless claps. We will gladly thank you for funding Caicedo.
We have a free banner as well if you need it.
And then we didn't stand Caicedo. These men made over 200 million before we even bought Mason Mount. These men are calm. They know what they're doing.
No. After Mason Mount, I'm going to show you right now. It's after Mason Mount, man. When you deep it, let me just go.
They were right, man, Saeed. They're already about 200 million up.
Let me show you then. I'll show you. Look at this. Right here. Chelsea Football Club have fleeced everyone. They fleeced everyone, man. And we're just watching. Look, I have a 65, 60 for Mason Mount, 25 for Kovacic, Koulibaly 19, Mendy 16, Loftus-Cheek 15, Ziyech 8, N'Golo Kante 3, 208 million.
That's what I'm saying. So before we came in, they were on 250 million. They could still get Mount. I mean, Caicedo over 150.
Manchester United have not sold players like that for the past decade, or maybe decade and a half. Yep. And Chelsea.
That's why I said, don't let the Chelsea man fool us. They're good. Chelsea's good.
We're good off the pitch.
You want to know what's a football club? Chelsea is a football club. Manchester United is just a brand. And for me, what is throughout this conversation, what has stuck to me and what I'm going to be retweeting is what Lewis said. Soon as Mason Mount became a brand, he went to the brand football club. Because that's all we are, guys. That's all we are.
He joined the PR company.
See why I'm not getting caught up, bro.
And his dad's a United fan too, by the way. So
the reason I'm not getting caught up with Chelsea, and I told the man then, when their older Bodie was up doing Harrods and buying everything, people thought he didn't know how to use eBay. But he's done his eBay. He showed you he can do a bit of Harrods, and he also knows how to use eBay. Now he's up doing eBay and selling everything that he doesn't want. Everyone's like, they're not the same. Everyone thought they were a banter club buying all these players, but now he's just putting the sales in, and they've got a new manager.
That's not me. I've been preaching to give Bowley time the whole season. Made mistakes, of course, but it's only been a year. Of
course, and I've been seeing it. I'm seeing there's a manager who came in, brought players in, tried everybody, and you know what's mad? Everybody was bigging up Harry Potter that they brought in. Everybody was bigging him up. Then when the guy went and got him, he said but the whole media was bigging up that manager, saying that he's the next thing. This, that. You need to get him. So for me, I just feel like looking at Chelsea. Listen, I've looked at Chelsea. They sack managers, they bring players in, sell players, and they win trophies. They're talking about that new league, that they're going to play. Is it the FIFA World Cup with all the club players or the FIFA Club Cup, whatever it is? And Chelsea's a part of it because they're one of the winners in the last 4 years. I had to look at it and say, what?
Oh, the Club World Cup. The Club World Cup.
Yeah, they said Chelsea's going to be a part of it because they won the Champions League in the last 4 years. I had to look at it again and say, what, these men are won Champions League in the last. These men are not. We're not in there.
Anywhere, bro. We just paused for a season.
Listen, we're not in what they're inside. Don't let them trick us. We're not on what they're on. Listen, and I get everything what you're saying, but all I know at this club, we've got Eric Bailey, we've got Scott McTominay, we got flipping Fred, we got who else have we got? We got Alex Tellers, we got players.
But we got no players. They don't sell on value, man. That's a problem. We don't got no sell on value because they got to pointless loans.
We can't even give them away. If you're on eBay, there's a free section. Just come and collect it. They just give you the address. Just come and pick it up. We can't even do that. Just like write it off and start again.
Yeah, it's like come and collect it. You know when they do eBay? You know the guy that goes around and says, "Yo, I'm collecting scrap metal, bro." We've been around the block and nobody wants to take the scrap metal. It's crazy.
Nobody wants it.
Martial out here just chilling. We got Donny just outside here doing nothing. We got bloody Bailly coming back from 1,000 injuries. We got Jones who just left. Tellers, who's won a Europa League, are going to come back now again. Maguire.
So you're telling me we can't even do like a £1 shot version, like a £10 million shot. Everyone's 10 mil, standard 10 mil. Like let's sell 10 players at 10 mil a pop, and let's just start again and raise 100 million.
More like a 10p mix than 10 mil.
10p mix. You can't even do a £10 million shot. We're like, look, everyone's in the window. Whatever you want, £10 million a pop. Just take what you want.
Yeah. Big up to Mike, says here, I seen Ten Hag turn Premier League rejects into ballers, Haller, Tadic, Klassen. I want that. Listen, he's Ethiopian, but big up to Carlton Manx on here when Mount is balling.
Hey,
listen, man.
I will be here. You know me. I don't go hiding. I'm live every day, bro.
He don't.
And we got 60 million for that bum anyway, so it'll never be a lot.
In everything he said, I've heard it, but I've also heard you say about the great season he's had at the beginning. I've heard you say about he's had some good games and what he's good at in terms of the turn. He's got legs. And I know what we need. I've heard enough to know that if Mason Mount can be the player that he once was at the beginning for you lot, we're going to have a decent...
The turns didn't disappear, bro. The turns didn't disappear.
Can I just say something, yeah? This Straightjacket podcast, yeah, it's been going on for 4 years, yeah? 4 years. Big up to everybody supports this, yeah? I've never, ever seen Nuruddin not speak as much on a Straightjacket podcast. Honestly, you guys always say to me, yeah, Nuruddin's taking over the show. Tell Nuruddin to pipe down. Tell Nuruddin, bro, he's absolutely speechless. He can't say anything.
The minerals, man.
He's just like, how can a signing make you deflate? This is mad. But that's what he knows the football club and where it's been, the structure, the way it's panned out. You buy these players on high wages and then you do this year in, year out. And it's a Glazer signing. Yes, the manager likes him, but at the same time, we've been here before. And Nuruddin, that's how you feel right now. It's kind of almost...
Listen, 100%. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be excited. I look at the Casemiro position. Like I said, for me, I remember those 10 games away from home last season in the league and how we got bullied and how we got mannered. I look at games like Newcastle. I look at the 7-0 at Anfield. I look at the 6-3 at the Etihad. With Mason Mount now in this team, am I happy with this signing? Because, Saeed, you know how our club works. Yeah. We know if we sign a midfield player, that's it. That's done and done, dada. And Casemiro ain't getting any younger. And even last season, at times, he fell short. I'm sorry to say, but he fell short. Obviously, he was victimized by referees. And obviously, he's getting used to the pace of the Premier League and everything else. But at the end of the day, we need his replacement now. We need his replacement now. And that's what I would have gone. And for me, the reason why I'm deflated is because now I know we're not signing Casemiro. Chelsea have got Casemiro in the bag. Sorry, Casado in the bag. Chelsea have got Casado. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
He's not the only one, though, Nuruddin. I think we're going to get it. I think we are going to get someone. What do you think about Alvarez? Is it Alvarez from Ajax who his deal's falling through? Someone said earlier.
Yeah, the deal's falling through. I think he's slow, man. And again, if he buys that player, for me, that's when I'm like, bro. Like, if he buys Edson Alvarez, I've watched a lot of this guy. For me, he couldn't even get into the Mexico team in the World Cup, man. That's for me. I don't rate him at all. And he would be Matic times 1,000. Man. He's slow, man.
You
He's
know, you
decent.
guys are not. A
He
lot of
ain't
guys
ready for this league, man.
don't like this, but I think I'll put in a cheeky bid for Basuma at Tottenham for 20 million. I still like Basuma and what his attributes, because before Caicedo, Basuma controlled the games for Brighton. He done the same job, and I've seen the games that he had for Spurs, and he's still the same player. He just obviously he wasn't favoured with the last manager. They got him for 27. I would put in a cheeky bid, and I'll have him back up Casemiro. I would.
Shanister says here, we bought a lot of big game players who turned out to be shy, so why not give them the benefit of the doubt? Listen, how many benefit of doubts are we doing, man? But I hear you, man. We will be. That's what I'm saying. As fans,
What are we? Benefit
when
of
we go on
the doubt?
football
Is that what we are now?
Well, Sheriff G says, one thing I know for sure is that us Chelsea fans didn't understand how Foden won the Premier League player of the season when Mount had a better season than Foden in 2 seasons ago with his goals and assists that
I
season.
remember that.
Yo, Lewis, man, do you echo that?
2
I remember
seasons
that.
ago. That's 2021. Yeah, he had a great season. You could make that argument.
Yeah.
That's the only one, though.
I'm gonna apologize.
Saying that player's gone. He's gone. He's not there no more.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
regressed.
gonna apologize.
I
Yeah.
can't tell you anything different other than he's regressed over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. I'm gonna apologize to Luridin because he was getting onto Ten Hag early because this manager isn't serious. I need Qatar to come and fire all these men and get proper people in who want to win. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe this is Glazer signings until the Qatar's coming, maybe before the start of the year. It could be just almost like we'll back you for now, but later on we're gonna get our money. So I don't know, man. We need backups, man. Listen, Mason Mount was always gonna happen for me, but now it's like, what about the signings that you didn't think was gonna happen, like Caicedo, like Lavio, like Amrabat, like all these signings that you didn't think was gonna happen, but it happened. And you know what? Fair play. Then we got that midfielder in. Then you could say Mason Mount alongside a Lavio or Amrabat. Then it looks good, or Caicedo, it looks good because then you've got a bit of balance. For me, it's about balance. It's not about preference. Preference can go a long way. We could talk about here, that player, that player, that player. But if you have balance, things can work out. But if you don't have balance, then
This is it. And you know what? What's our team been for the past decade? One of the most unbalanced football teams in world football. We're not a football club. We're a brand. That's what we are. We don't operate like a football team. Saeed, you need to tag me on that tweet. The tweet that said Chelsea's selling for 208 million. You need to tag me in that tweet.
that one. Yeah. Let me tag
You
you.
know
Now,
what it is, though, Nordy? Go on.
I'm not lying to you. Nothing more detects me when you actually see in a space of a month, Chelsea made 200 million on just sales. That is unbelievable. In 10 years, we've made 70 million. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. By the way, guys, it's 1.6K in here, man. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. You know what? I wouldn't even mind. There's some players in Europe right now that are going for decent price. Amrabat is going to cost you 30 million. That's why, for me,
Allow this Amrabat thing, though, Saeed. This Amrabat thing, you gotta let it go. You don't
rate him. You don't rate
Nah,
him.
you gotta let it go. Nah, you gotta let Amrabat go.
No, but why though? Amrabat's a quality player, man.
I don't think he can come and replace Casemiro or fill in for
We need
Casemiro.
backup, man. The guy's gonna get a red card next season. We need backup. Casemiro.
I believe we need backup.
I lost a
I believe we need backup.
Off Amrabat this early, but we've had this long of an argument about Mount.
Huh?
How have you written off Amrabat this early, but we've been?
No, because my thing is maybe I think the way I'm looking at Mount.
Yes.
I'm not looking at Mount as a starter. I keep on saying you, man, the position that I see him in.
As a bench player.
Who's the starter?
I see him as a squad player, a part of the squad.
Cool.
Yeah, so you know what? I don't see him.
Squad player on 250.
But this is the level. Tell that to Chelsea. Have you seen Chelsea's squad players? Tell that to them. Have you seen City's squad players? Have you seen the teams that we're competing with, like Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City?
First teams. They have settled.
Have you seen that? No, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is this. I keep on telling you, we need to sell McFred. They need to go. and the person that's going to fill in for them off the bench is this guy. That's how I see it. We need to get rid of them. And then the second thing I'm saying is this, guys. Whether we agree or disagree, whether it's Brand FC or not, this is an Eric Ten Hag signing. I don't want no shots. I don't want people shooting the wrong person. Your guns have to be aimed at the manager. This is an Eric Ten Hag signing. It's not a United signing. It's not a Murto signing that, oh yeah, he's pushing it on the manager. The manager wants this player. I know people don't want to get onto the manager, or they're trying to keep it simple, but this is the manager signing. There's no one else to sign.
The manager wants him. Yeah, I hear you.
That's it.
The manager clearly wants him. It's true. And this is why I'm like, you know what? Okay, then let's see how it goes. But then later on, when it's not working out, it's going to be difficult to kind of, back the manager, because this is all of his signings now. If the manager,
remember, Saeed,
fair enough, Anthony, all of these guys are his guys.
And they've worked out, but you have to remember, he spoke about balance a lot. So when you're saying the team's not balanced, we've heard our manager talk about the balance a lot. So he knows something that we might not know. And this is what I want to say, because...
So he thinks that this can bridge the gap then? He thinks
Of course he does. Because I believe he's going to play 4-3-3. I believe he's going to have Casemiro on his own, and he wants two people in the park, which is Bruno and my man that we're getting in to do a proper job.
That's wild. But listen, we have to back the manager.
Listen, the only thing I will say this, right, is that Eric Ten Hag, I really genuinely hope you know what you're doing.
I hope as well it works out.
I'll say this now. I said what last season. I said it, and I said it beginning of the transfer window when the season finished. Manchester United need 3 midfielders. We need somebody who can run with the ball, who's good on the ball, that can actually dribble the ball out of tight places.
Ball carrier, yeah.
Ball carrier. We need somebody who can, because we need to bench sometimes Bruno when he's having a woeful game. He needs to get the fuck off the pitch, right? Because you're not being played because you're captain or whatever. Get off the pitch when you're having a stinker, mate. It's not just about one person. I'm sick of Manchester United being just about one fucking individual players, right? So, and then Manchester United need somebody who can sit next to Casemiro in games that wins the ball back, and that's press resistant, right? So the idea for me, why I'm doing, listen, why I've looks like I've been hit for a 6, right? Is because I know this club are not going to sign another midfield player, and we need 3. We need 3. We're not going to sign another one, and we're going to set up with Mason Mount, and I'm gonna watch next season against the top 10 in the league, and maybe everybody get bobbed all over that fucking pitch. That's why I'm glum, because I don't see Sale coming anytime soon. And Bloomberg, Reuters, any of these absolute pricks, financial journalists are clickbaiting the fucking fan base as well. And I'll be talking about that more, going into that detail at 10:30 tonight. 10:30 tonight. Because to me, you find no Casemiro, no fucking cigar, mate. Good night, Vienna Man United Football Club. Because we're not even a football
striker
club.
as well. There's no budget on a striker. It's only Onana.
I think we're going to get another midfielder. I think we're getting
Mount beating them. It's pointless. Might as well just.
I think we're going to get another midfielder, guys.
You better hope you do, bro. You better hope you do.
What if he puts
I
Mount?
think we're getting that Southampton lad.
Mount was a false 9.
Bro, I'm telling you now, he's put Vegas in
the last time we played Mount in a false 9, we lost 1-0 to bottom of the table, Southampton.
What's the Southampton lad again, Saeed? I think we're going to get him.
Who?
The Southampton lad.
Lavia.
He's
going to.
Yeah, I think we're going to get him.
Sabitzer as well. He's going to sign Sabitzer as well.
Nah, he's not. I think we're going to get him.
We signed Sabitzer. If we sign Sabitzer, I'm done. The guy came for 6 months and had three injuries. I'm not here for Lewis. I'm going to ask you actually, what's his injury record like?
Oh no! That guy is a virus. He don't go away. Away. You'll have him all season.
Yeah. Mount he's never injured, man. I don't think he's ever injured. Big up to HK Music. We don't even have a starting 11 while we benching players. That's even more reason that Mount to not buy does not make sense. Yeah, this Mount buy does not make sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not going to start him, and he's not good enough to start. Like, I don't get why you're doing it. I really Don't get it.
Nathan McSweeney says Mason Mount was Ten Hag priority signing, and you think he's a squad player. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's a Mount. Like, he wanted Rabiot and Mount, and I think another player, but obviously we didn't get a Rabiot. Maybe that could be it. And obviously we need a striker. For me, we need a centre back. If what we need is not what is possible, like United should be getting these players this summer. A striker, 2 midfielders. For me, realistically, a centre back and a keeper. That's 5. That's 5 players. You've got Amad Diallo who could do that role as well. And even now, like Amad Diallo should be playing as well next season, you know. But again, I'm looking at where's his role now. He'll go out alone. Go give Amad Diallo the role that Mason Mount's getting. Why can't you trust him? I'm telling you now, Amad Diallo, he can transform into that player, but you don't want to play him. So
one of the most technically footballers are Manchester United, bar none. You tell me on the ball who's more gifted on the ball than Mason Mount.
well, there you go.
No,
United.
not
Then
Mason
Amad
Mount. Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
Who's more
I
technically
give you any
gifted
money,
than
he goes
Amad
out
Diallo?
alone, man. Give you any money, he goes out alone. It's bollocks, man.
Because
listen,
it was
people-
a fucking football club, regardless whatever the manager is. That's what we fucking do.
I don't know anyway, man. Hopefully Onana comes through the door. David De Gea, before we wrap up, David De Gea.
By the way,
You
I'm not
reckon he's
this
leaving?
Onana hype by side. Stop this Onana hype as well.
Nah,
You
he's
don't-
good player. He's good player.
I'm not
What
here
are you talking about?
Onana hype, man. If
What do you
Manchester
mean
United
Onana
want to
hype?
sign a goalkeeper, that's going to be their goalkeeper for the next decade. Because Chelsea, mark my words, Chelsea will sign him in January or they will sign him in
He
the end
don't
of the
want us.
season. And it's
Onana don't want us.
Diego Costa is the player that Manchester United
That's
go
what I
and
want.
Nah,
That's what I
Onana.
want.
Exactly, Lewis.
Onana's a good player,
Exactly,
man.
Lewis. That's the guy. And before Chelsea get him, we need to get him now.
You have to be realistic.
I don't think we're
Realistic is-
going for a goalkeeper
Onana.
this summer, though. So I think you got a free run.
Oh, you'll sign him. Listen, you'll sign him in January. You'll get him. You'll agree with him in January and sign him at the end of the season. That's what you do. That's what you do.
Onana. What's my name?
That's what you do. The best
Onana.
right back.
What's
The
my
best
name?
right back. Best right backs in Europe. Gusto. And I've been telling Saeed about it. Saeed, how long have I been telling you about Gusto?
Yeah. Gusto.
When Onana has a howler, when he has a howler wal quta illa billah. Saeed's gonna be the first one that does this. Don't worry about it, no
That's
review.
what I'm saying. David De Gea's
I'm
going,
not
man.
believing in the
I've
hype.
got- I've stopped-
I look at the
David De Gea's
stats.
going.
I watched both goalkeepers. I'm not here for that bandwagon hype. Diego Costa is a better goalkeeper. It's a goalkeeper that
I
reassures
don't
me
think so.
because of his physicality.
I don't think so.
Because
I
how
think
tall
Onana's
he is,
better.
how
I think
dominant
Onana's
he is.
better.
No,
I'm
have you
sorry.
seen his record on picking up crosses, coming for
Penalties. You're just looking at
long
penalties,
way?
man.
Nah, Saeed, you've not.
Penalties.
Look at the
That's all
stats.
he is, man.
Look
He's a
at the
penalty
stats.
merchant. He's a
Look at the
penalty
stats.
merchant, man.
Nah,
That's all
mate.
he is,
And
man.
you know what? For the first time ever, I want to be able to, when we concede a penalty, have fucking confidence the goalkeeper saving, making a save. I want that. Diego Costa is superior than Onana, controlling his area, coming and collecting the ball. The only bit of difference, Onana's a bit better. He's calmer under extreme pressure. That's the only bit. That's the only
We
bit.
need that in the
But
Premier
every
League. In the
other-
Premier
every
League,
other-
that's pace and
Saeed,
power.
I'm sorry. Every other indicator of what that quality of a goalkeeper is, Costa is better than him. Costa fills me with confidence because of his presence.
They're very close, though. They're very close.
Saeed, you've not watched it. Onana's horrendous conceding headers. Absolutely does not eat. His position
says that?
on corners and free kicks is horrendous. Horrendous. Dog shite.
Oh,
His long balls are dog shite as well. Costa's a lot better,
I've
more
seen-
accurate with
I've
his long
seen Costa
passes.
fumble the bag a few times. Listen,
Yeah,
anyway,
and 100%. He's a young goalkeeper. He's learning. He's learning. He's good. He's going to make mistakes. But I'd rather have that because
Fair
we're going to have it for 10 years. Before Chelsea
fair
snap,
enough.
trust me, it's either Real Madrid or Chelsea are going to stop him up. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Big up, guys. We're going to wrap up the podcast here. Big up to HK Music. I don't see Ten Hag ever using Ahmad. He doesn't like small players. One on the ball, Ahmad is clear of mouth. What is the reason why, you're looking at, what's he call it? Zidane Iqbal, man. I heard something today about Zidane Iqbal that he wanted to go Fulham. Ten Hag rejected it. Obviously, they've got something going on with Utrecht. So it is what it is, man. And what happened to Ten Hag fixing the wage structure? Exactly that, mate. Bullshit, man. But it is what it is. Maybe it's not his role and it's someone else on the top and he's just kind of conceded defeat. But it is what it is. I don't know, man. Some fake PR reports that come out that we probably listen to too much. HK Music, Onana has the most mistakes leading to goals in Serie A. United fans watch one Champions League final. I think that always Costa is better
Fact.
keeper. See, the thing is, yeah, you can say that, but I think for me, he's
bandwagon
over-
merchants. Too many bandwagon merchants in my club. Too many fans who are bandwagon merchants. That's what they are. Trust me. That's what we are. We watch one player one game, and I always said, never judge.
No, I
a
don't
player
watch him
in a
one game
World Cup
though.
form.
I've watched him a
Listen,
while.
never
I
judge a
watched him
player
at
in
his
a World
Ajax
Cup
days.
form on a
Saeed,
Champions League.
I watched him at Ajax, and I watched
Saeed,
him at Milan. So
I agree with
Let
Noradine.
him go on a free. Why did Ajax let him go on a free then? If he's that
I
great.
agree with Noradine.
He
Yeah.
had there was a clash between him and Ten Hag. I think he wanted
Nah,
to have
but
a
we're
challenge.
bandwagon merchants because you see the striker we're linked with from Atalanta, yeah, who's barely started any games for them this season, and everyone thinks he's going to all of a sudden come into Old Trafford and he's going to be the
I
man.
disagree. Yeah, you're right.
I have more faith in Mason Mount having a good season than this guy up front because he's been there and done it.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
true.
guess
That's
how
true.
much Atlanta want? 86 million. And guess who's the negotiator for them? The same guy that took 80 million from Manchester United was working for Leicester. They've got the same negotiator that Leicester had that took Manchester United, who's working now at Atlanta. Fact.
Madness.
And by the way,
Yeah.
yeah, Arsenal. Before we wrap up,
86 for a young player who was let go by the Danish club and who was on loan in Austria and came back and only scored
it's
10
finally
goals.
World Cup. By the way, now it's finally
And I
World Cup.
think he's had less appearances than Ahmad had when we got him, and he had more of a hype.
By the way, Arsenal have agreed a fee for Timber, 40 million. That's not a bad deal, you know. To be fair, so is what it is. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. It's been a good podcast. If we're not on 1,000 likes, guys, it's been 1.6k in here. Let me see how many likes we're on, man, because I think 703. Guys, come on, man. We need at least 1,000 likes, man. Please, people, 1,000 likes. Big up to everybody who's been watching. Make sure you check out 10:30. Nuruddin's going live. Make sure you support his channel, United Real Therapy. Nuruddin, it's been a pleasure, man. You know what I mean? It's one of them. What can you do? Loving it. At least you get to see him up and close. You're on the where do you sit, by the way? You sit on the
Between the tunnel and
between the
dugout.
tunnel. So you'll have a perfect view of Mason Mount. So at least I'm going to be in a
Beautiful.
tactical view. You know, I get to see him from second tier, so I don't get as mad as you. But yeah,
Man,
big up to you,
They're
man.
living on a prayer if they think Mason Mount is going to solve our problems. They're living on a prayer, I swear. You know what? Get singing, people. Our soundtrack next season is in Bon Jovi. We're living on a prayer. Whoa, whoa!
Big
You
up
know,
to
one thing I will say before you end, Saeed, this signing might make or break Eric Ten Hag. I think this signing has the capacity to actually win over the fan base if we can get back the 2001 Mason Mount and everyone says, whoa, what a player. Or it's going to have everyone saying, I don't know if the manager knows what he's doing with these buys. Can we trust him? We need a director of football straight away.
There you go. There you go. But Musa, it's been a pleasure, bro. I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, make sure you check it out. Result CIC. Big up to you, man. I need to come down to London, man, before the season starts. Man.
Yeah, when you come down, start, man. Remember, my channel's coming soon. Musa Reacts. I'm building. I'm setting up a couple things. I'm going to be doing more content. Yeah, more propaganda, more content. Different stuff's going to be going on in the channel. Getting a couple of the mandems. So I'm going to be joining the YouTube world.
Yeah,
absolutely,
big up Lewis
man.
for jumping on, by the way. Big up Lewis, brother. Big
Yeah,
up.
Lewis.
Always.
Make sure you check it out. Lewis.
It was a good debate. It was a really good debate.
He gave me hope. Lewis doesn't know. Lewis gave me hope today. He's the one that's giving me hope. I've heard a couple things. You're giving me hope.
Nah, there ain't no hope, mate.
I stuck me in the comments, my bro. What are you saying, man? I hope you're good too. I hope you're good too. Big up everybody. Big up my guys. Hit the likes as well, people.
Hit the like button before you leave.
If you don't like the video, then I know actually I'm not gonna swear. No.
Yeah, we'll leave it as that one. We'll leave it as that one.
One like for one successful mount pass next season.
Yeah. We pray. We pray.